Hercules himself, Dwayne Johnson. Okay, that's interesting. She's beautiful, Irina Shayk, ladies and gentlemen. Dwayne Johnson. Please welcome the director of Hercules, Brett Ratner. Another beautiful, lovely lady, Ingrid Bolsø Berdal. Please welcome Rufus Sewell. And last but not least, Aksel Hennie. Welcome to Berlin. This is quite an interesting press conference. Great to have you all here, and I think everyone is really excited to ask questions, and because we're so many, I think we should start straight with questions from the floor. The gentleman over here in the second row with the glasses and the full hair.
Yes, it's you.
Because of actual reasons, question to Mr. Johnson. Years ago, you were a famous sportsman and, of course, well paid. And now, 2 weeks ago, we read that Forbes called you one of the most famous Hollywood stars, behind Robert Downey, the best paid Hollywood star. What would you say to that kind of development?
Well, I think it's just a testament to good people around me, and you know, keeping good quality people around me, working with good quality people, good quality actors, and good quality individuals like everybody sitting up here today. And I've been fortunate over the years. I've had a hell of a career, and I love what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do. And to make a movie like Hercules is an indication, I think, of that opportunity and that passion. And again, to work with everybody who is up here today was really such a it was such a cool thing, and it was such a pleasure. We had a great time, 5-6 months in Budapest. But I got to say, you know, Robert Downey Jr., he's been dogging me for a couple of years now. He's been #1. He keeps beating me in these polls every year. But
you're going to take him next year.
Yeah, I'll take him next year.
Thank you. Question from the gentleman over here.
Thanks for the gentleman. Hi. First to the panel, pardon my French, the movie fucking rocks. Thank you very much. To Mr. McShane, I have a question. In the world's best Western series, you said, announcing your plans is the best way to hear God laugh, which always stuck with me. So I'm asking you the obvious question. Would you want to know?
No, I wouldn't want to know anything about the future, but I may want to borrow some money off Dwayne after the press conference. That's the first I'd heard of that. I've got a great project, Dwayne. We should talk about it. But no, no, I wouldn't want to know anything about the future. Thank you. And there's this guy I play in this. He's not. I mean, he's only given half information anyway, half-assed information half the time. You know, it's the gods, and you know, they're not too specific. I mean, they make general terms. Thank God it all works out in the end anyway.
Thank you. Right down here in the first row, the gentleman with the baseball cap and then the lady.
Hi, it's Tom Westerholt, German radio, WDR. A question to Irina. As a supermodel, you know the runways of the world. So this is your first big movie. How far would you say is the runway of a movie set different than the runways that you already know?
Well, I think modeling jobs is completely different from acting, and it was my first experience to be in a small part in a big movie, and it was, you know, it was completely different. But to be, you know, here with all of you guys and Brett Ratner, and to be next to Dwayne and all those handsome men and women, it was just, you know, dream come true. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully, it's not my last time to be in a movie.
Thank you. Lady right here.
Hello, my name is Frau from Radio Berlin. It's a question for Mr. Dwayne Johnson. What is a hero to you personally? Who or what? Or who or what?
Who or who? I would say, well, a hero to me personally is just an individual, I think, who just wants to get better every day. You know, we all trip, we fall down, we deserve to get back up and just get better. So, you know, there's different versions and descriptions of a hero, but that's one to me. And also, a hero is a man who will look good and very, very freeing in a loincloth. That is a definition of a hero too. And also, a hero is, I speak for all the men here on this panel who can come to work every day and look at Irina and still stay focused and professional. With the exception of Aksel, by the way. Yes.
Sorry, Irina. Sorry.
Bo, you know, talking to Brett, he basically emphasized that it was very important for him to build sets instead of using CGI. How difficult was it for you as the producer to actually find a place where you can build Greece and places where Hercules could cause chaos and havoc?
Well, Brett said he wanted the sets incredibly small. He wanted them as small as possible. But Brett, as we all know, is incredible vision and thinks movies 24 hours a day and wanted to build every set as big as humanly possible and real and authentic. And that was the key word for him, was everything had to be real. The scope was actually not as challenging as the, you know, how authentic and grounded and real Brett wanted. And that's what I'm just so proud of what he achieved in the movie. It's just all the kind of details in the film. I mean, I think that's what kind of separates it from a lot of films. But you know, we were in Budapest for 10 months, and everything was built from the ground up, and Brett shot every single inch of it, and that's the producer's dream there. So
great, and it looks fantastic. Thank you very much. Aksel, I have a question. Because you took the script and did something that not a lot of actors would normally do. You took out your lines for your character. Why?
Yeah. No, I mean, I love the fact that you have a character that has a lot of inner emotions, a lot of demons, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that he wants to express that he's not capable. Everything he can do is fight to get it out. And me and Brett, like quite early in the process, figured out that the best way to like deal with that character was to make his limit, make it more difficult for him to exist. If you can express yourself, it's easier to exist. It's easier for me as a Norwegian to speak Norwegian when I'm in Norway than speaking English. And sometimes I need to fight to get my feelings out myself. You know,
How's your German?
Guten Tag, ich heiße Aksel. Ich work as an actor.
Can I add something to that? I want to add something to Aksel, because Aksel, I saw a film, I don't know if you guys have seen this film Aksel did called Headhunters. And I watched it 3 times, and I met with Aksel, and I literally said, you can have any part in the movie except for Hercules. I said, if you want Atalanta's part, you can have it, okay? Trust me. And he bravely and boldly picked the part that didn't have except one line of dialogue in the entire movie. And that's a very brave thing for an actor to try to accomplish. And his audition, when you get the DVD, when you get the Blu-ray eventually of the movie, you're going to see as a hit. It's a hidden nugget in the Blu-ray. I hid it somewhere, but when you find it, it's the only audition that I put on the DVD, because the audition is him grunting.
You don't even know how embarrassed I am about that thing being on the DVD.
I said, you don't have to.
I asked my girlfriend to film me while I was like swinging some dumbbells around and like going, ah. And it looked so silly, so crazy. I said, what can I do to make this look like semi-cool? So I like played it in half speed, and my like grunting became, and he fell for it.
I loved it.
I'm so glad they like fast forward it, so it's like in real speed, because he would never, ever, ever have given me the role.
I got to tell you guys something too. That when you see when he sits with you in person and you start talking about a character like how he can articulate his character now, it's very intriguing, and then it can be very powerful. When you see the audition, Beau sent me the audition, and he goes, "I think we found our tidiest." I watch it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because literally, he slowed it down, and he's like, "Oh," I thought it was a joke. But then I meet him, and of course, then we had the perfect guy to play Titus. Yeah.
Thank you, Dwayne.
A question from the gentleman right here in the first row, and then moving on to Batman.
Me again. Question to Dwayne, and everybody else is welcome to jump in on this question. Action movies are, of course, very exhausting for the actors, that you have to do all this physical stuff. But when I saw this movie, I was really asking myself, what was more exhausting this time? Was it the physical stuff, the stunts, or was it the yelling? Because you guys are like yelling all the time, which can give you a really bad headache, for example. And you do it so often in this movie, like everybody is yelling. I counted 120 times in this movie.
Irina even yelled.
No, I just got undressed. No, yeah.
Thank God. Well, I tell you what was difficult, I think, for all of us was the battle scenes. They're very epic. They're very big, as Beau was saying. Brett had a vision for the movie, very practical. Some of our sets, by the way, were the size of soccer stadiums. They were massive sets. And we were in Budapest. It was hot. Hundreds and hundreds of soldiers, and us on the battlefield every day, giving it all we had. And I tried to keep my yelling to a minimum. Ian McShane, however.
What? What is challenging as well is that you're going to be in a movie with Dwayne Johnson. And you know, you can train as much as you want. You will always look like a matchstick man. That's challenging every day to wake up and know that's like, even though you train your ass off for like 3 years, this giant, beautiful warrior is next to you. And I will always be that small little like blonde dude. That's challenging in an emotional way.
Also the problem, you end up with this thing, dysmorphia, because I was working out. We were working out together, high-fiving each other. And then you come out and you stand next to him, and it's kind of like, oh, okay. So I just got this idea that I was like really puny. And then I got home, and none of my fucking suits fit. Because I'd actually practically doubled my size, you know, but you couldn't tell. Because
The person who what?
Ingrid looked great.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. The person who impressed me the most, when I met her, you know, she looked like a normal, attractive, very beautiful Norwegian girl, and then she showed up, and she had been dieting. And she was half the size of when I saw her, and I freaked out. I had a meltdown. I said,
"You're too skinny. You can't look like that. Go eat."
I said, "You need muscles, okay?" I know getting in shape, because, you know, it's maybe a cultural thing. Getting in shape doesn't mean losing weight. It means putting on muscle weight. So I called Dwayne. I go, "Dwayne, I need your help. I need you to give her some protein to get those muscles." And she literally, in a matter of weeks, completely transformed herself. Bravo.
Well,
She had a little belly when I met her, and then she turned it into a six-pack. It was amazing.
Brad, I want to...
Too far. Too far.
Don't
Hey,
do
Brett.
it at home. That's basically, yeah.
Hey, Brett. One story in terms of regard to screaming you should tell is the I Am Hercules. I mean, that's the definitive scream of the movie, of Dwayne on the...
Dwayne is the most committed of any actor. Not only, I mean, was inspiring for everybody except Ian, who didn't actually need to work out because he had a great outfit that...
Didn't need to work out. I was every morning before Dwayne. You never saw me, Dwayne. I was there and eating 8 meals a day of boiled chicken and spinach. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And so Dwayne, as committed as he was, you know, I never expected this, but we were on the set of the dungeon scene. Remember when he goes, "I am Hercules," and he's supposed to. Normally, just actors prefer to act, but Dwayne, of course, wants to do it for real. What I mean by that is he says, "I am Hercules," and then he just drops, and I'm like, "Beau, what happened?" He goes, he passed out. I go, what do you mean he passed out? He goes, well, he asked the props guy to put real chains to The Rock, and he tried to actually, you know, which of course looks, I understood the psychology behind it because your veins are popping out, but you can also kind of fake it, you know? And I said, okay, is he going to be all right? He goes, yeah. So we do another take. He passes out again. I said, if I injure Dwayne Johnson on my movie, I'm going to have a major problem, okay? He has 50 million Facebook followers. Someone is going to put a hit out on me if this guy dies on my set. Can you make sure he does not hurt himself on this movie, please?
I have narcolepsy.
Reese.
By the way, it's very tough, right? When you're like, yeah.
Reese, we've been talking about, you know, the workout program that Dwayne went through, the dieting. I mean, you are the warrior of words in the movie. How tempting has it been to walk past Dwayne while he was on a diet and that, you know, regimen, to walk past him with a cake or ice cream?
Yeah, I did it constantly. It was really funny because in the prep of the film, I was put in with Aksel and Rufus and everyone and Ingrid to work really hard every day in Budapest. And I remember Brett coming up to me and saying, so, you know, you've been training really hard, you got to build a muscle, you've been training really hard. I was like, yeah, I've been, you know, benching and lifting the weights. And I thought, this wonderful director has employed me to basically play a character who bullshits all of the time. So I thought the earlier I get into this mode of telling lies, the better. So, you know, it was ice cream, it was cake, and it was lots of lies, and it helped. Just told him that now, by the way. So I was in the gym with ice cream going, keep going, guys, you're doing great.
Question from the gentleman right here in the first row.
My name is Arthur. I'm from the German website filmförder.com, and I have a question for Ingrid. What was it like for you to be the only woman in that band of warriors?
Yeah, first of all, I have to say that I'm so excited to be here in Berlin. I love this city. I've spent a lot of time here. I shot with Beau, the Hansel and Gretel witch hunters a few years back.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, and I heard that it was so well received here, so thank you guys, and I'm so excited to be here. It was actually a pleasure. I've got a big brother, and I've grown up in my family with many men, so I'm very used to being around guys, and I love the energy that I get from that. And they've introduced me to action films and all of these guy things to do, which is helpful when you meet a film like this. At the same time, to be honest, it's also when you're standing on a battlefield with 1,000 of the males screaming, trying to kill you, and the way that this man is shooting his action sequences, it is actually 1,000 men going at it at once with the stunt people and everything. So it was quite scary actually, and I had to, I learned a lot from it as an actor, but also as a woman, because Atalanta, the character that I'm playing, it was important for me that she wasn't just this strong, tough woman. She's an Amazon, and what are they? It was important for me to dig into the self-worthiness and to have the self-confidence, the true self-confidence as a woman in order to meet all the guys. Because it can be lonely being the only woman in a very male-driven society, even if it's on a film set or if it's in a bank or wherever. And it is important to not try to be one of the guys in that sense. It's important to find that as a human being, and these guys really were supportive, fantastically supportive, so it was a joy.
Rufus, all the way over here on this end. Hey, you once stated in an interview that you were kind of getting tired of being cast as the baddie. So how excited did you get to be on the right side of the fighting in Hercules?
Yeah, well, in terms of big movies, this is, you know, this is the equivalent of the nicest guy I've played. You know, I kill hundreds of people in this film, so that just goes to show. But like, yes, that for me, for a while, if ever the movie was a big American one, it tended to be that I would not just be a bad guy, but kind of stuck on my horse, telling other people to kill people for me. So it wasn't just being whether I was on the side of bad or good. It's just the fact that I was actually down there with the guys fighting. I mean, I did movie called Night Sale a few years ago, and my frustration at just being stuck on the bad guy horse at the other end of the field, where all my friends were having such a good time on the other side, just pissed me off so much. We made up for it at the weekends, you know, but so to be one of the guys, to be doing my own fights, you know, and we worked on these fights for so long that by the time came, we kind of did them ourselves. A lot of the time it was really us fighting, and to actually be down there being one of the guys and to be able to play someone, you know, who's got a sense of humor, you know. It's no more of a challenge for me than any other part I played, but it was great fun. I'll always be thankful to Brett for letting me have a chance. So thank you.
I want to add just one thing also. Aside from their commitment to their diet and to their bodies, the thing that I was really blown away was their commitment to kind of their training. These guys came out several months before they were supposed to shoot, and the commitment to, you know, working with the professionals in there, because each character had their own individuality, their own skill set with the weapons that they used. And Ian, of course, had done many films with using, I guess, a sword or weapons for many, many years. So he didn't need any training. He was an expert with it when he just showed up. But these other guys literally... What happened? These other guys really committed to using their weapons, and Ingrid actually was so committed that she was going up to the other actors and asking them, do you want to go pretend hunting with me? I mean, we'll take our weapons out there into the world and just go explore, kind of, you know. And of course, the actors thought she was insane. But
she wanted to do it around the studio.
Yeah, she wanted to do it in the field around the studio. Let's go out hunting.
Ingrid's, because we had apartments that face one another, and you know, if you needed to borrow some sugar or something, we were there for half a year. I'd knock on her door, and you'd open the door, and she had the bow and arrow in her hand. And I'm like, oh, it's all good. I just want to borrow some milk, you know. It's just so dedicated.
And by the way, normally this movie would have taken twice as long to make, really. But literally, and it would have been done all with doubles, but these guys were so committed to not only the fights. I mean, when these two guys, I was blown away because everyone's like waiting for their big moment. These two guys had their fight sequence, Aksel with the axes, Rufus with the knives, and it was like we did it like in an hour. It was amazing. It's like they had been choreographing and practicing. Ingrid was flipping, slicing, cutting, jumping. I mean, it was unbelievable. I was really blown away by the work ethic and the execution of their talent. It was amazing.
Thank you. Question from the lady on the left-hand side.
Hello, this is Julianne from AFP, Agence France Presse. Question to Ian. On the set, you met John Hurt again. I think you started with him your film career in the 1960s. How was it for you to meet him again, and maybe to all the other cast members? How was it working with John Hurt?
Well, we did our first movie together in 1962. Wow. And then we did a movie, and then we did our first TV together, our first stage play together. Then we did then there was a gap of about 45 years. Then we did a movie together 5 years ago, 44-inch chest, and then we met on this. So Johnny and I'd have some long lunches and say, here we are, 50 years later, still fooling them, you know, which is kind of nice. But John's a wonderful actor, so it's nice to see him playing. But usually he plays the goody guy. I mean, like Rufus said, I got to play a good guy in this, and John was the bad guy, so it was fun to watch him doing that. Thank you.
The lady in the second row on the left-hand side.
Hello. Question to Dwayne Johnson. I was on Twitter this morning and I was shocked because it had not already been 5:45 and you already had posted a picture of your workout.
6?
Is that, are you
6
always...
o'clock. He's like 4 o'clock. He's running.
Yeah, he's already been up
4 o'clock. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. One day I wanted to like be up as early as I could, possibly, humanly possible. I want to train. 5 o'clock in the morning I was up, jogging. And I pick up my phone to change the tune on my like training track. It's like, what? He posted on Twitter 1 hour ago. It's impossible. If you want to eat food, if you want to eat like a lot of food, he's got to eat more than you. If you want to train early, he's earlier than you. He's superhuman being. He never sleeps. That's true, right? 2 hours a day.
I never sleep, yes.
So you're always doing it like this? And will you see anything else in Berlin than the Potsdamer Platz and the sports studios?
I'm sorry, that last part.
Are you going to do anything else in Berlin, some sightseeing or something, or will you only see the Potsdamer Platz and the sports studios of Berlin?
Oh, I see. Right. Well, it's hard because every time we come in, I've been to Berlin probably 6 to 8 times maybe. It's always an amazing trip every time I come in. Everybody's so welcoming and so loving, but I don't get a chance to see that much other than whether it's a gym or whether it's a restaurant or certainly, the premiere. But, training is part of my daily routine. It's my anchor. It anchors my day. And like Ian said, I get a chance to fool him every day. That's what I do. I tweet early and then I go back to bed.
Not only would he wake up hours before we would even see the light of day, but this guy, believe it or not, was sitting through hair and makeup 3.5 to 4 hours every single day for the 90 some odd days that we shot this film. So his commitment was insane. I mean, they were putting the hair from a yak's testicles on his face, one strand at a time, literally for 4 hours. I'm like, what is fucking taking so long?
No, it's not. No, it was the yak balls.
Okay.
Testicles.
Dwayne, after what we heard, the routine of training, the dieting, the yak's testicle hair, the preparation.
Don't knock it until you try it.
What was it like for you to step on set for the first time in the Hercules sort of outfit, knowing that now finally the whole dream, the thing that you've been dreaming of the whole time has started? I mean, what did you feel like?
Well, I was in a loincloth, so it was very freeing, number one. But it was amazing. It was amazing, and it was. I've been saying this. It was an honor, and it truly was an honor to step on set, not only with these amazing actors, and you mentioned Ian with John Hurt, Joseph Fiennes, these incredible actors. Everybody who's here. It was incredible, and it was truly a dream come true. Not only that, but you have an opportunity to create something special. We all got together to not only have fun, try and have fun, but also hopefully make a movie that was going to be definitive for a generation. There's been a multitude of Hercules in the past over the decades, literally 40 versions of Hercules. How are we going to be different? How are we going to be, with all due respect, better than the ones in the past? And how can we make something definitive? So in that, we all came on set ready to make something epic. So yeah, man, to step on set as Hercules, beautiful wife, amazing team, it was an honor.
And it looks like it. You created something special. It's a great movie. Last question from the lady right here in the first row.
Irina, I have a last question for you. How did you like the fashion, the style of the men and the leather mini skirts and their beauty routines?
Oh my God, I love it. I wish I can bring everyone who was on set with those outfits to my house in New York.
When? I will be there.
When? I'll tell you later on.
When?
It was great. The costumes was amazing. The hair and makeup, and everything was amazing about this movie. And it was many people behind the camera who makes all this come together and create this beautiful movie. I really enjoy it.
Thank you. Quick one, last one, really quick.
Just a short one.
4 questions.
He's the man.
To you, Brett. All right. No, when it comes to shoot action sequences, how much are you still influenced by the lot of work that you've done with Jackie Chan, would you say?
A lot, actually. I learned a lot on every movie I've ever done. Working with Jackie's been making movies longer than I've been alive. So is Ian, and I learned something every single day on one of these movies. What I learned really is on the Rush Hour movies is really walking that line between action and humor, or drama and humor. It's like balancing that. I was telling somebody today, I said, this is my 10th film. If it was my second or third, it wouldn't have been the film that it was. It was because all those first 9 films was preparation for this very film. But I really owe a lot of it to the cast, because what I couldn't do is what they did. They had incredible camaraderie and chemistry, which is something that has nothing to do with me. Each one had their own individuality. They brought something unique to the characters, something special, and they had a great time. As you could tell, they have a great time together, and that's what we try to capture on screen. There were serious moments, there was moments of levity and depth, but at the end of the day, we were all having a great time making this movie, and that's what we want people to leave the theater recognizing, that this movie was made for audiences to go have a great time. we try not to take ourselves too seriously. It's very hard work. Making a big movie is a tough and grueling process. But at the end of the day, we want audiences to come in there, enjoy the movie, and have fun, and take what you want from the movie. If you love Irina's beauty, if you love her strength, if you love his femininity, that's fine. If you love, whatever it is that you get out of it. Ian's charm and humor and charisma. And each one has their own character traits, and we try to give. We tried very hard to give an arc to each one of these characters, so that the audiences who were fans felt something and cared. So that was our gift to you, and thanks for listening.
Thank you very much for coming out to Berlin. Thank you, Beau, Ian, Reese, Irina, Dwayne, Brett, Ingrid, Rufus, and Aksel. Thank you very much, and enjoy the premiere tonight. Thank you.